Collegio. He is the Director of Communications for American Crossroads, with which Crossroads GPS plans to spend $300 million on this campaign. Good morning. Is that an accurate number, $300 million bucks?
That's our goal for the 2011 and 2012 cycle, yeah.
Now, we should point out the Ann Romney ad was from the Romney campaign. Your ads have focused on attacking President Obama. Is that the strategy throughout the campaign?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a deep reservoir of concern in this country about the direction that President Obama and his policies are taking the country. And we're trying to point out a lot of the downfalls of the president, the promises that he made that haven't come into fruition, and the fact that, you know, we're piling up trillions of dollars of new debt every year. And I think that this message is resonating because people, you know, they heard a lot about hope and change in 2008. They're not seeing a lot of it materialize over the last 4 years. And then they're seeing the president who's, like, doing a lot of very sharply negative attacks now, and it doesn't really match the brand that they may have voted for in 2008. So we're trying to point out all of those things to folks in the middle. Well,
the argument obviously is that, you know, you've got to give as good as you get, and certainly he's been getting, the president, a lot of attacks, not just from your super PAC, but a number of others. Look, today we saw that David Axelrod going on the Today Show. They're going to have a news conference. They're going to talk about what they see as the weakness of Mitt Romney's record as governor. Will you respond to that with ads?
Well, one of the things about as an outside group, it's difficult to run positive ads just because of the way that the campaign laws are written. There's a lot of rules against coordination, and you know that. It's difficult. You know, the best positive ads are from the candidate talking to the camera, and that's not something that an outside group can do.
The express purpose of super PACs is to run negative ads.
I'm not saying that I'm saying that what we're advocating for are free markets and limited government, and unfortunately the way the campaign laws are working out is that it's difficult for super PACs to do positive kind of glowing ads because the best ads, positive ones, are from the candidate, and we can't coordinate with candidates to do those. So what we'll be doing is focusing on the president's record and making sure that every American knows about the promises that he made and how they have failed to come to fruition over 4 years.
I know you can't, as you said, coordinate, but there is this big headline in Politico today about the people who are funding groups like yours, and it says, "Why is everyone picking on us?" referring to the mega donors that support the super PACs. We've been seeing a lot of them. One of them that they name in this article is Frank Vandersloot, who's an Idaho businessman who gave $1 million. He's pushing back a little bit, you know, because the records have been scrutinized. Are you worried that the money's going to stop coming in as some of these mega donors see that suddenly it's all becoming very, very public?
Well, there's certainly an effort underfoot by the left, by the Obama campaign, and by the groups on the left to try to embarrass conservative donors. And what they did with Mr. Vandersloot is they actually had private investigators. This is a donor to the Romney super PAC. They actually had private investigators looking into his divorce records.
Well,
and you're thinking to yourself at that point,
to be fair, the Conservative Center for American Freedom has also been going after some liberal donors. They've gone after Jeffrey Katzenberg. They've gone after former Governor John Corzine. So it's working both ways, isn't it?
I don't know about those cases, but I know that there is definitely an effort to try to intimidate donors, and that's why a lot of them, you know, a donor really has to make a decision whether or not they want to be cast into the limelight. Many of them don't. I mean, last year in 2010, our biggest donor had a front page profile in front of him on the front page of the New York Times, and there are a lot of donors who really aren't interested in that kind of exposure. Give to the process. They want to, you know, work for change. They see an opportunity to change the direction of the country in 2012, and that's why they're giving to groups like Crossroads.
Jonathan Collegio, thanks so much for coming on the program. Do appreciate it. Jackie, how much of this campaign